Hi, this is Mr. Ward, and this is the Algebra Do Now, 31.1, week 31, day 1, and here we go. Here's your video key. So for 1a, I factored this quadratic trinomial. It's a three-term polynomial, and so then I got x minus 10 times x minus 2, because negative 2 times negative 10 is 20, and negative 10x plus negative 2x is negative 12x, and x times x is x squared. And so from that, I use the zero product property, which says that if anything is multiplied times 0, the whole thing is 0. So this lets me figure out what would make y 0. Okay, well, if I turned x into 10, 10 minus 10 will be 0, so it'll be 0 times some stuff, which will be 0. So 10 is an x-intercept, because at x-intercepts, y is 0. And here, if x was 2, we'd have an x-intercept 2, because 2 minus 2 is 0. That would make y 0, and y being 0 is on the y-axis. So there I've got my two x-intercepts. Now what I want to know is what is the x value that's halfway between them? And that's just the average. So I'm going to say 2 plus 10, and then I'm going to divide by 2 since I added two things. So that'll be 12 over 2, and that'll be 6. So 6 is the average or halfway point in that parabola. Now we're going to take that x equals 6, and we're going to find we'll use that as an input, and we're going to find a y output for that middle x value. We're going to take that x value that was the halfway point in 1a and calculate the y output for that x value. So we can use x squared minus 12x plus 20, or x minus 10 times x minus 2. So I'm going to start with x squared. Just copy it right out of here. Let's grab them both. Flump, flump. There we go. Okay. So we'll use both of them. Okay, so first I'm going to replace x with 6 wherever it shows up. Okay, there's a, instead of x, we'll make it a 6. We'll make this a 6. Okay. And let's solve that. So that'll be equals 36. And that will be minus 12 times 6, which is 72, which happens to be twice 36. Okay, and that's a pattern you might start to notice with this sort of thing. 36 minus 72 is negative 36 plus 20, and that's going to equal negative 16. Okay. If I had used this, I'm just going to replace x with 6 here and x with 6 here. And let's simplify that. So that'll equal 6 minus 10 will be negative 4. And 6 minus 2 will be positive 4. And look, they're opposites. And negative 4 times 4 will be negative 16. I got the same answer. That's a good sign that we have the right number. So now I'm going to put in the x value that we have of 6 and the y value of negative 16. Yay! We have found the vertex. That is the middle of the x value is the middle of the parabola, and this is the y output we get when we're at the middle of the parabola. So that means it is the point that is at the middle of the parabola. It is the vertex. So did we get that? Yes, we did. So we found the vertex. Now we're going to replace x with 0 in that original equation and see what the y-intercept is. Because if x is 0, you have the y-intercept. That is how you always find a y-intercept, by the way. So I could grab either equation. Let's go grab them from up here. It'll work for either one. Okay. And let's go down here and plug it in. Okay. So if I use x equals 0 here, that's 0 squared minus 12 times 0. Okay. Or I could be doing 0 minus 10 and 0 minus 2. So let's see where that takes us. So y here is going to equal 0 minus 0 plus 20. Come on. Okay, and over here, y will equal -10 times -2. Okay, and over here, that means we're going to have 20. And over here, we'll have 20 as well. -10 times -2 is 20. So we have a y-intercept at 0, 20. Okay, so if we got 0, 20, we got the right y-intercept. And look, there it all is. Now, we want to take a look at this graph on this problem made by this quadratic. And what do you think the point is across from the y-intercept? It's like this mirror point on the other side of the parabola, directly on the other side. What is this point? Okay, well, we have some tools we can use. So this is 0, 20. The middle of the parabola happens to be a vertical line at x equals 6. So it's 6 over is the middle. Well, if we're 6 over is the middle, then twice 6 over is the other side. So that's 12 over, which will be 12. And it's got the same elevation, so it'll have the same y value. So all you need to do is add twice that middle value to x. So twice the middle value will be the x, and the y value will be the same as the y-intercept. So the y-intercept was at 20, so we're going to be at 2 times 6 comma 20, and we can rewrite that as 12, 20. And that will be a mirror point. And now we actually have 5 points that we could use to start mapping out a graph of a quadratic function. Okay, and so we've got our two x-intercepts. They're symmetrical. They give us a nice structure here. Then we can find the vertex by getting halfway between them, finding out that halfway point x value, the average, and using it as an input to get this output, -16. Now, then we make x equals 0, and then we can plug that in. So when x is 0, y will be 20. And then the other side is going to be twice as far as the middle. Well, the middle is 6 away, so twice as far as 12 away. And the other side will be at the same elevation of 20. So this point will end up being at 12, 20. Okay, so that gave us 5 points. And with 5 points, we can do a pretty nice job of graphing a parabola. All right, I hope that was helpful.